So this is the start of the Acorn Trail here at Landis Arboretum. It goes into more of the heavily wooded hardwoods, and we'll see what we can hear. Great place for owls. The rock wall is a great place to look for tracks in the wintertime because the animals tend to walk on the rock walls. So one of the other things with birding and photography is that you may not see the bird, you see its shadow. And you know something just flew over. And that's what I just stopped for, is because there were two shadows that went over and they went into those trees. And if you're walking in the woods and you're through here and you're doing some birding and some wildlife walking, sometimes it's best to stop and listen and look. See if there's anything moving. See if you hear anything. And that's kind of the best way to approach a bird, is to stop and let it get comfortable with you and then walk again and walk again. If you're nonstop walking fast just to hike and go through the woods, you'll scare things off. And as a birding, I always don't walk straight up to the animal or the birds. I walk on an angle and then change direction a couple times, so you're not just walking straight up to it like you're attacking it. So I can give you guys a couple little secret tips. Okay. So if you're walking in the woods in the wintertime or early spring, and you're walking through the woods and you come across a large tree, at the base of the tree, if you see a lot of tree debris, fresh tree debris sitting on the snow, like little branches, little nesting material, it's because something is up in the tree cleaning out the old nests and bringing in new material. So that's going to be a nesting tree. Then it might be an owl, it might be a woodpecker. So that's one of the things to look for, is you look for debris around the tree. If there's fresh debris, that means somebody's actively working on that nest in a tree. That's one of the things I look for when I'm walking through the woods, is what's around the tree or what's in the tree. One of the other little things is that when you're walking and you're photographing or you're birding, animals tend to perceive the threat by the size of the eye. So like me with my camera, it's a huge lens. So I normally won't lift the camera or the lens until I'm ready to take the shot. I'm not going to be walking up to it because it's a threat of the eye, a big old eye. So I kind of wait till I'm ready to take the photograph, to lift the camera and photograph the bird. And sometimes it's best just to, when you see something, stop, let it get comfortable with you being there, and then try to get the photograph or put up your binoculars to get a better view. And if you are out birding, you're out photographing, we just flushed a bunch of swamp sparrows, it looks like. About a dozen of them right in here. You can see them slowly moving. And you look for the little trees that are moving. There's no wind, but see, now the birds are moving. And I can hear the woodpecker. I can hear another woodpecker. A little fast pounding. I'm not wearing bright colored clothing. You want something that's going to be a natural color. You know, let's say you're in all black. You're a big black bear coming toward them. It's, you know, I try to use natural colors, or even a camouflage shirt that has some camouflage on it. And I don't wear cologne, perfume. When you're out birding, they'll smell it way before you ever get near them. But there's two. There's one woodpecker there and another one over here, tapping on the trees. See, and we're in the wooded area, you're getting more bird life. and the little sparrows are still moving around. So if you're out with the kids and you're out walking at Landis doing some birding, the kids may not be as interested in birding as you. But if you bring them to the pond areas, they're going to see the frogs. They're going to see the turtles. They're going to see maybe a salamander on the ground walking through. So it's not just the birds, but then that way you can do your birding and they get to have fun too, if they're not in the birding. And that's what our granddaughters did. You know, they loved the little turtles. Or we would see how many frogs were in the pond. So when you're going out walking, you're walking out in the woods. Before you leave the house, think about what you might need. A good pair of shoes that gives you support, because it's not always going to be flat, might be rocky. Nice, comfortable clothing. In the mornings, you think, well, I might want a little jacket. If you're going to be out for a little while, you're going to need a little bottle of water. You might want a snack. So that way, if you get somewhere and you're really enjoying it, you can stay and enjoy it. You don't have to, well, I'm really thirsty, I'm really hungry, or I'm cold. So just think about as you're going, before you go, what do I need for my birding trip to make it the best enjoyable for me? Make sure I got my binoculars in the car, you know, good shoes. And if you're going to use your phone for the Merlin app or the birding app, make sure it's charged. That way you can listen to the birds as you go and even video the birds or photograph the birds that you see. And the app is good. The Merlin app's good. You can take a picture of the bird that you see and it'll ID it for you by a photo. They'll give you the best choices that you can find, the best options. You know, some birds, when you're out birding, some birds are morning birds, some birds are afternoon birds, some birds are middle of the day. And that's, as you read up and study about the birds, you become more familiar with their environment, their habits, what areas they like, what time of the day are they out. And there's lots of resources out today about birding. You know, other people will post on their social media account a bird they saw, and maybe that's on your life list to see. So with social media and marketing and everything today, it's a great opportunity to get everything you want to enjoy the best of birding that you can, because you may not have seen it, but someone else saw it at this time of the day and saw it at Landis Arboretum, or saw it at the Cobblesco Reservoir, or they saw it at what Mine Kill State Park is a great birding place to go. You know, most of the places around the county in Schoharie County, parks, birding places, they all offer educational walks, educational talks, birding walks, birding talks, and events for you to come out and learn about the place and learn about birding or learn about wildlife. I know Landis Arboretum does owl prowls at night. So you can actually be out here at night and listen to the owls. And then you can, okay, that's a barred owl or that's a screech owl. Well, that noise is a great horned owl. So this morning we're at Landis Arboretum, but some of the other, my favorite places and great places to go photograph and watch birds is, let's say, Looking Glass Pond up in West Fulton. And it has a great pond, beaver pond. I've seen everything from a bald eagle, great blue herons, an osprey, wood ducks, Canada geese, common mergansers, ruddy ducks, all in the pond. And it has a beaver pond. I've seen river otters sunning themselves on the beaver huts. And then you can walk through the woods. It's a great little, it's easy walking, plenty of parking. You could do a little fishing if you wanted to fish. But the birds, there's a couple trails that go through there. A trail that goes all the way around the pond. It's easily accessible. We've heard owls in there, woodpeckers, all kinds of birds. Looking Glass Pond is a great place to go. We've got Mine Kill State Park is a great place to go birding. We were over at Franklinton Vlaie Wildlife Management Area yesterday morning. And we did see great blue herons. We saw some ducks, a belted kingfisher. There's a bald eagle nest at Franklin Vlaie. There were some Canada geese. I've seen a swan in there before at the Franklin Vlaie. So they're just now starting to get birds. So the fall migration is just getting ready to start, and there's some of them have started early and they're coming in. We're starting to see more and more birds and waterfowl at Franklin Vlaie. That's a great place to go. One of the newer places is the for a walk is the Paulson Preserve up in Cobleskill. That's a great place. It's brand new. They've got some hiking trails. There's a lot of birds there. There's open fields. So there's another hidden gem that's near Summit called the Paulson Preserve. Look it up. It's with this Schoharie County Land Trust. They've got trails through there, a lot of bird life in that area too. So those are some of my favorite ones to go to coming up this fall.